Hello, everybody. My name's Harrison Stanley,
My name is Bridget Basin.
And I'm Sebastian Gladz.
and we're here today to talk to you about our Uber case study for this project. And overall, we're talking about how Uber can become a better company through many different processes, but for us, we focus mainly on social responsibility. And to start out with, Sebastian is going to talk about some of the key issues and objectives that we have created for this project.
So we all know Uber is a successful company with more than 750,000 employees throughout the United States. The main objective we have for Uber is for them to become a more social responsible company. We believe that by becoming more socially responsible, Uber can do ethically positive things to help everyone in the company as well as in the world. The main concept that we are proposing would be to employ individuals who are currently unemployed as Uber drivers. The United States has higher unemployment rates in different parts of the country. So for this, we're focusing in mainly three cities: San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento, which combined have roughly 300,000 unemployed people. By starting this pilot program off in the cities close to the headquarters, which are located in San Francisco, it will allow Uber the chance to see firsthand how the program is doing. Additionally, it will allow a chance for there to be constant minor changes to the program through the first-hand experience. The current business model that Uber follows contains key partners, activities, and resources, value propositions, customer relationships, channels, customer segments, revenue streams, and cost structure. The parts that should be reviewed are the key resources of a network of drivers, the value propositions of reliable transportation, and the cost structure, mainly the marketing aspect. The network of drivers is something that is one of the most important aspects to Uber. These drivers are needed to perform the normal business operations of providing rides for individuals that cannot do them themselves. Furthermore, the value propositions of having reliable transportation will also be more controllable under our proposals. There will be higher costs in the very beginning, like startup period of the program. It will become more sustainable after the first year. When Uber focuses more on their core business, there is higher EBITDA, or earnings per interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Therefore, one would logically want there to be a more core business focus so it could generate higher revenues. When it comes to choosing who to hire for this pilot program, there are several qualifications and restrictions that must be met before Uber should even talk with the individual. First, the individual has to be 21 years or older. They must possess a valid driver's license. They cannot be a convicted felon or considered an offender of any kind. And there should be a good variety of races, genders, and ages picked for this pilot program. Also, the individual would have to be unemployed for 6 months or more, and they must have people depending on their income to survive. During any type of interview, it is illegal to ask about family or personal relations. This hiring process should be maxed out around 400 people, so Uber can conduct face-to-face interviews and ultimately reduce the number of candidates to around 200, 300 based off personality and other factors. This concept is something that should be viewed as important since it involves the image of the company. Individuals that are against Uber for many reasons, including stating it is dangerous. The drivers that are not actually employees and may not care about the company. Uber does not care about the consumers. This last point is what we are focusing on because how people perceive a company will have a subconscious effect on if they utilize the service or not. The concept of brand image is one of the most important parts of a company since they are nothing without the support of their customers. Uber cannot possibly run without their customers and as well as their drivers. This better perception of the company will increase the amount of revenue due to the fact that more people will think of Uber as a company that is trying to make a positive change in the world. Unemployment should be the focus of Uber since we all know someone in this position currently and many people cannot change the status without a little support from others.
All right, thank you for that. And then now Bridget will be talking more about general management concepts and such that you will need to understand in order to comprehend our proposals even better. Bridget.
As Sebastian said, that our main focus is lowering the unemployment rates and creating a sustainable pilot program. So we have concluded that Uber has a more classical view on of social responsibility, which means others view the manager's only responsibility is to create a profit, whereas we're hoping that to change it to a more socio-economical viewpoint. So that means it goes above, the managers go above and beyond just making a profit. They focus on the community, making its employees happier and making sure everything is being done for them that can be done for them. And in this day and age, people are looking for more green options, they want their companies to be greener and be doing more for the environment, which is what we think Uber can be doing. They could have more green options. Can we pause it real quick?
Just keep going. Let's talk about the next point. Just keep
I'm so sorry.
We apologize about this technical problems.
I think that was all I really wanted to talk about anyway.
All right, it seems that part isn't working, so we're just going to skip ahead to the next section. So the last two sections talk about how the stakeholders are going to be affected in both positive and negative ways, along with a cost-benefit analysis for the actual process that we are suggesting. So to start out with the stakeholders that are affected, we have decided that there are two that are mostly affected. The investors that are outside investors that are both current and potential investors, so people that are either invested now or will be in the future, as well as the actual drivers themselves. So in regard to the first section, the investors, a lot of people view Uber as a very large company and they're making a lot of money. So a lot of people would invest into Uber simply because they want to make a lot of money and not take a lot of time, But what we are suggesting is to switch that around slightly, as Bridget talked about with the classical versus socioeconomic viewpoints. We would like Uber to switch to the socioeconomic viewpoint to help out those unemployed, to help out the people that have less in life, and to just promote general welfare of the society in general. We believe that the investors are going to be initially upset by more expenditures occurring. However, in the long run, as shown out through the cost-benefit analysis, the money will be made back and there will be other positive effects that come of that. Now, with the second part, with the current drivers that Uber has right now, so as Sebastian stated, there's 750,000 current drivers for Uber in the United States. And with us focusing mainly on San Francisco first and then possibly going to San Jose and Sacramento afterwards, there are over 300,000 unemployed individuals in those areas. So, along with the process that Sebastian also talked about, get those 2 to 300 formerly unemployed people and allow them the opportunity to better themselves. Uber has a common phrase that is stated as, "We ignite opportunity by setting the world in motion." We believe that in order to do that, you could take a more literal understanding of it, thinking that setting people in motion by driving them, getting them to their job, but also a more socioeconomic view of helping out other people who really need the help, who really need a job. That's pretty much how we developed our project from this. And since both the stakeholders and the drivers will be affected, and they do have valid arguments towards that, we do, however, believe that it will not be that great of a negative effect that will occur, because there will be many positive effects that come from this. So going into the recommendations section, which is where the cost-benefit analysis is, this is where we get more into the actual data and the feasibility of all of this. So with choosing the people that are going to be part of it, as Sebastian stated, there's going to end up being 2 to 300 individuals that are selected that are 21 or older, have a valid driver's license, not been convicted of anything, not been arrested or anything like that. And then they also, with those personal questions being talked about through the email, about if there's people depending on them with their income, along with how long they've been unemployed for, Uber should take those 2 to 300 people and actually purchase cars for them. The reason we were thinking about this was a lot of unemployed and people who do not have a lot in life, they may not have a car. So in order for this project to actually occur, there obviously has to be a car. So through the cost-benefit analysis, depending on if the car is going to be new or used, we assign certain depreciable amounts along with maintenance fees, fuel fees, and everything else that Uber would incur based off of doing this. And on the low end, we assumed that they used used cars, and then the training cost was on the lower end, and the people that were hired were on the lower end. So that would be around 15 or so thousand for the cars, about 4,000 per employee or per contract driver, and about 200 of those people, and that would total just over $3 million, $3.6 million. On the upper end, that would be where there's 300 employees, they use brand new cars and all the costs that are associated with that, that would be just above $9 million, around $9.2 million. So with the range being between 6.3 and 9.2 million, that's obviously a good amount of money that Uber will have to invest, thus the concern that the investors might have. Additionally, profits that may come from this, or the benefits side, it will increase the amount of revenues that Uber will incur over the extended amount of time that they're pursuing this program for. From what estimates we have, if Uber gets around $8 per hour from each of their contract drivers, and each of those 2 to 300 new employees work roughly 20 to 25 hours, that will get anywhere from $40,000 to $60,000 in extra revenue per day. Per week, totaling $2 million to $3 million per year. Now, that amount, it covers some of the startup costs, but what we are proposing is that the more socioeconomic view about the perception of how Uber is will actually help increase the sales as well, or the revenue. When it comes to if somebody's going to choose Uber or Lyft or any other competitors, a lot of the times people think about news that is going on in the world. If there's something bad going on with Lyft, they choose Uber, and vice versa. So we were thinking that by there being positive changes in Uber's realm, they are able to achieve more of the market share, and thus that would increase the revenues, which would in the long run help out the company and possibly achieve profits for the company even higher than what they have already seen. So therefore, if Uber pursues the activities of helping out those that are unemployed and giving them a job and giving them a sense of somebody is there fighting for them and trying to help them get out of the situation they are in, that will definitely benefit the society in general. It will affect both San Francisco, San Jose, and Sacramento areas in and of themselves, along with affecting the state as well as the country and the whole perception of the company, leading to those increased revenues. Thank you for your time.